Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call this regular council meeting of the District Commission to order. And first of all, I would like to welcome the community members. Welcome.
Labor lawyers and trade experts are warning municipalities that there is only one way to protect your public services and your autonomy, and that is to maintain them in public hands. Also included in our delegate package is a report produced by the Council of Canadians and CUPE titled Public Water for Sale, How Canada Will Privatize Our Public Water Systems. And this not only outlines the impact of CETA on municipalities, but also describes how the private water industry is attempting to leverage this infrastructure deficit as an avenue to increasing its role in water delivery and treatment. And sadly, the federal government is using this exact same logic. They know that services have been downloaded on municipalities. They know that they're restricting federal funding. They know that there's a budgetary crisis due to the economy and the increased pressures on municipalities. So there is a funding crisis. And at the same time, I'm almost done. I'm right here. Thank you. And at the same time, they're using this very same budget crisis as an excuse to promote P3 Canada. And in their May 4th press release, where they announced the third round of funding, which Abbotsford is participating in to access the funding, they say, in today's economy, the combined challenge of infrastructure deficits and fiscal deficits are driving governments to innovate and get best value for taxpayers. However, municipalities like Mission have proven that that is not best value for taxpayers. It's not what the Mission residents want. And in order to continually move forward in the future, we are asking municipalities to continue to urge the federal government to support, through secure funding, our infrastructure needs. And that's what we're asking you to do here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both Janet and Diane. First of all, I would like to say that this council did make a decision that we are not involved in. We will not be involved in it. That decision stands. That I wanted to affirm that decision still stands. With respect to a request to submit a resolution to UDCM, the deadline usually is June 30th. That's when we submit, unless it's an emergency, which is not an emergency, it's not a new, and there's a clear definition of what an emergency resolution means to submit a late resolution. I don't see the resolution from Burnaby definitely will be on the floor for debate. And it's a resolution that probably the majority of municipalities will be supporting. So I think council will take your information, for instance, what you've clearly articulated, what this council, those of us who are going there will take this as an advisement, what you want us to speak on behalf of Mission. I think each council who is attending UPCM, we will be able to be involved in the discussion on the floor. So I just want to thank you, first of all, for the presentation and your views. But I think in terms of submitting a resolution, we cannot submit a resolution. It's already, the deadline is already gone. So I would like, first of all, to perhaps I have a couple of councillors who have questions or comments. Councillor Stevens and then Councillor Stewart.
Thank you. I would like to move that in view of the Council's previous declaration not to support a full-blown P3 application for meeting our future water needs, that the Council representatives at UPCM actively support the resolution as it has been presented by Burnaby County.
The second by Councillor Stewart, Councillor Hong. Did you want any further comments, Councillor Stevens, before I go to Councillor Hong?
No, not unless other comments triggered.
Thank you. Councillor Hong and then Councillor Stewart.
Well, two comments, Mr. Mayor. The first is that I wanted to check again, and I just I'm online right now looking at the, or not online, I've downloaded here the resolutions, and I don't see resolution that the delegation has spoken of in exactly that form. There are a number of resolutions around water infrastructure, and I think what often happens is that resolution gets directed into others, and other communities have brought forward the same notion. So there is no specific motion from Burnaby that this motion could work through. The other is that, and staff can correct me on this, but a motion cannot bind an individual councillor's vote at UBCM. Individual councillors vote their conscience. I won't be at UBCM, but in any event, I don't think there's force in the motion. I don't think you can actually tell an individual councillor how they may vote any more than you could around this table.
Connect from staff.
Yeah, that's correct. Council are there on individual candidates, and they vote according to their own. It's not, council doesn't go there. So they usually, if they do that, they usually bring their own resolution that's supported here, and then they'll vote accordingly.
Well, if I could respond further, Mr. Mayor, I don't have an issue with the basic concept of the delegation or the motion, but I think it would be more in line for council to basically make a standing resolution of its own that it supports asking. We could, for example, write to the federal government asking them to further support for the funding around this project and CC it to our MLA, or sorry, our MP. I would support such a motion if it was to be made, and I'm happy to make it if the mover would prefer. But I think this particular way of handling it won't get us very far, so that's the only reason. It's more of a procedural point that I raised.
So, wait, I have Councillor Stewart.
Thank you. Thank you, Worship. Well, I appreciate the delegations coming tonight because it's afforded us it has afforded us the opportunity to restate and reaffirm our decision. However, I may be reconsidering my plan not to attend UBCM so that I can go and support the resolution if it's up to individuals. I'm going to have to think about that, but it'll cost the district for me to do that. Anyway, I hear from Councillor Horn that he may have another way to address this, so I'll look forward to the wording of that. And if we can't do that as to recommend, then I'm okay with withdrawing my support, Councillor Stevens.
Okay.
Councillor Stevens.
Right. Having heard these two councillors, I'm very happy to amend my motion to the effect that council hereby affirm its previous decision regarding full-blown P3 projects.
Can we? I just point of order. I need to hear from staff whether we can do that. We have a standing resolution. So
can we affirm it?
Not really. Once a resolution is passed the 30 days, unless two members of council brings it.
I'll have another crack at it then, because it's the end product I'm after. Okay. All right. I will then move that. All right. Council support opposition to the current arrangement by writing to the federal government on Mission's behalf, asking that infrastructure grants not be tied to P3 Canada, right? And that a copy be sent to our executive.
So procedurally, I'm hearing that you're withdrawing the initial motion.
As invited by Councillor Paul, I'm suggesting that we do in fact write that letter. In view of the statements, we will a resolution is already made, and we'll be copying to the so that we are in fact writing in support of the resolution. Okay.
If I may, Worship, I make a suggestion that we turn that into a positive resolution.
Absolutely.
The council will write to the federal government to ask them to consider all projects that are not P3 eligible for the same funding.
Yes.
And that would be...
Absolutely. Very well done.
To Infrastructure Canada and CC to our MP, I would presume.
You think that's on the feet now?
Hold on a second. Any further comments on this? Yes, just Councillor. Can I have Councillor Parker say yes at the time, and then Councillor Stewart?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your presentation, Jenna and Diane. I do appreciate what you're saying, and I was wanting to get clarification about the resolution being before the UBCM, because I'm going to it, and I certainly would look at supporting that. But I think that in light of what Councillor Horn has said, I think we need to go that direction at this point in time. But I want to get a clarification. So you asked in your presentation about a mission-only strategy or a mission-only approach. Is that correct? Mission only?
Maiden mission.
Maiden mission, yeah. Okay, solution, okay. Thank you, I just wanted to. What else for them?
Councillor Stewart, you had your hand.
Well, I do have a question. It concerns me that this report didn't reach the UBCM. I'm reading up here that it was submitted by Burnaby City Council. Can the delegation
No, I don't think.
clarify that?
I think you may have misunderstood my comments, Councillor Stewart.
Okay.
What happens at UBCM is if they receive motions that are similar, they may blend them together or refer them. So I think what's happened is this motion, there are motions, for example, one put forward by Lillooet about the commodification of water. So there are 3 or 4 other motions that I think capture this. And one of the motions on UBCM floor will be about infrastructure funding in general. So I'm not surprised that they would have said any funding ones would be tied to the general one. I think that's what they're looking at. And that makes sense. I'm sure our delegates would agree. It's not just privatization. Around water, we should be talking about other major infrastructure as well.
Well, Your Worship, I just want to make it clear, I wasn't suggesting that the delegation was misinformed, but I did want to have clarification, and I guess Council Horn has done that again.
Thank you. Those comments, can I call the question? All those in favor of the motion? Opposed? It's carried unanimously. Thank you very much for your delegation and for your presentation. Appreciate it. Okay.